Starting off this half of the show with a little bit slower music. This is one of those songs they played at a school dance. It just drove the chaperones crazy. If you never attended a school dance, you won't know what I'm talking about. Welcome back to the Patrick Riggin Show here on the Libertarian Lighthouse Radio Network and News Talk 98.7 WOKI. We've been hearing a lot about Obamacare the past few weeks, but what's been really grabbing headlines lately are the accusations of lying by the president, lying by the administration, how they all knew a lot of Americans would be losing their health insurance. We've had conservatives hammering the talking points. Obama's been lying. He's been lying this whole time. Everyone is supposedly all up in arms about it. Not to excuse Obama's lying, but it's like none of these conservatives nor their politicians have ever lied before, have never violated the Constitution as well. We told you he's a liar. We told you he can't be trusted. Over and over we've been hearing this. Look, it doesn't matter whether he was lying or not, whether he knew all these people would lose their health insurance as a result of Obamacare. None of that really matters. What really matters is the government shouldn't be doing this unconstitutional activity in the first place. Would it be better if Obama came right out and said, you're going to lose your health care coverage? Would that make it okay? If he hadn't lied about what would happen, would that make this law any more constitutional? No, it wouldn't. Still unconstitutional. We're still taking money from one citizen and forcing them to pay the medical bills of another. How is that the right thing to do, no matter if anyone is lying about other parts of the program or not? What I want you to notice, how the important thing to a lot of people is, how can we use this politically against the president? It isn't, let's get this rolled back because it's unconstitutional. It's, let's hand this president a political defeat. I mentioned this idea a few weeks ago on the show. You can check our archives, youtube.com/Patrick Riggin Show. If these conservatives who are complaining now, if they had been fighting to get rid of Medicare and Medicaid and any of the other socialistic medical programs, then I'd put more faith in their arguments. But they haven't been. They haven't been trying to do anything about any of the other non-constitutional legislation being passed in Congress until it's someone from the other side doing it. Mitt Romney implemented Romneycare in Massachusetts, and the Republicans rewarded it by nominating him for president. A big part of Obamacare is based on Romneycare. Oh, but wait, Mitt's a Republican, so we should just all get behind him. Over and over on this show before the election, I played clips of Mitt Romney saying, I want to repeal and replace Obamacare. Not get rid of it. Not saying it's unconstitutional to do that type of thing. No, it's wrong if a Democrat's doing it, but it's okay if a Republican is. I played these Mitt quotes just a few weeks ago. I've got them right here. Let's see. Here we go. 2 quotes from Mitt Romney from before the election.
I say we're going to replace Obamacare, and I'm replacing it with my own plan. I'm not getting rid of all of health care reform. Of course, there are a number of things that I like in health care reform that I'm going to put in place.
There you go. The Republican nominee for the last presidential election. And all of the Republicans, along with all these conservatives, were lined up behind him. Now, these same people are all up in arms about Obamacare. Sean Hannity, Rush Limbaugh, Ann Coulter, Mark Levin, 3/4 of Fox News, all behind their guy Romney and his idea to replace Obamacare with another piece of unconstitutional legislation. It's wrong under Obama, but it's okay under Romney. They're two sides of the same medical care coin. But if the coin lands Democrat side up, boo. If it lands Republican side up, yay. Obamacare is blatantly unconstitutional. Sitting out there day after day saying, well, you know, Obama was lying to you about keeping your health insurance, lying to you about keeping your doctor. Sitting out there saying that day after day is hypocritical. Like everything else about this bill is just fine. The only problem is that Obama was lying about keeping your health insurance. All these conservatives screaming and yelling about that just reinforces in people's mind that the basic idea of government mandating health care for everyone, that's okay. Nothing wrong with that at all. No, it's the fact that Obama lied about being able to keep your doctor and that your rates wouldn't go up. That's the big problem. Do you see how this is the wrong argument to be making? But the reason you don't hear Republicans and most conservatives making it is because not even they see anything wrong with this type of legislation. No, we need to use it for our political gain. Don't worry about the philosophical implications of the fact it violates the principles that Republicans and conservatives supposedly believe. No problem there. Let's just see how much we can bang Obama and the Democrats over the head with this latest disaster. Let's see if we can use it to win some elections next year. Then once we get into office, we can get our version of Obamacare passed. Yeah, that's what we should do. Then we'll show those liberals how government-mandated medical insurance should be run. The whole premise of government medical care is wrong. If the premise is that you're going to take money at the point of a gun, which is how the government gets its money, just don't pay your taxes and see who comes knocking on your door. Here's a hint, it won't be the Avon lady. But this premise of taking money at the point of a gun from one citizen and using it to pay the medical bills, or any bills for that matter, using it to pay another citizen's bills, that's flat out wrong. I don't care who lied. I don't care what they promised. It's wrong, period. And anyone not making this argument when they're talking about Obamacare is missing the whole point. Or they're not wanting to address it because when their side gets into office, they'll do the exact same thing. This time, they'll just have the Republican label instead of the Democrat one. This is what frustrates people, including a lot of conservatives out here in Flyover Land and your show host. These Republican establishment leaders and their sycophant lapdogs in the conservative media are making these little esoteric points about this or that particular Obamacare requirement, but no one is saying we shouldn't be doing it in the first place. Well, except here on this radio show. You'll hear that type of argument being made every week. This whole premise of government supporting and providing for citizens, that's wrong. That's the argument that needs to be made over and over, not that Obama's lying. He's a politician. Of course he's a liar. You're never going to fix Obama lying. It just isn't going to happen. Screaming and yelling about it only distracts people from what the real problem is: government intrusion in private citizens' lives. If you're going to kick every lying politician out of government, then we'd have no one left in Washington. Or very, very few. I can probably count them on one hand. Although I'd be hard-pressed to come up with one, even one at this moment. What we need to do is fix the problem, and that problem is passing unconstitutional laws. This is the whole problem behind welfare, supplemental nutrition, women, infants, and children, all these unconstitutional laws the Republican House was passing during the shutdown. During the very time they were all complaining about Obamacare, they're still passing unconstitutional laws. Legislation that legalizes the theft of money from one citizen and giving it to another to pay their bills. Wow, we're already up on the last break here of the show. We've blown through quite a bit, but we still have one more segment of wrap-up to get to. It's usually pretty short, so we'll try to go fast. When we return here on the Patrick Riggins Show and the Libertarian Lighthouse Radio Network.